What's up, team? This is Frank playing the game with the scariest basement ever. This is a quick and dirty review on Legend of Dungeon. When you first get VR, you want to buy everything. Even old games are given new life and second chances. All I knew going into Legend of Dungeon was that I was getting a procedurally generated retro-style dungeon crawler. There's really no story to speak of, so the basic idea of the game goes like this. Start in a tavern, collect the lantern and apples on the tables. Go through random doors as you explore. Avoid entering red or purple doors since you've already been there. Run, slash, jump, and look for stairs going down. Pray to RNGesus that the random drops are good. Descend deeper and deeper because there's treasure on the 26th floor, but invariably die before you get there and start all over again. You'll die a lot, and when you die you lose everything. All the items you collected, all the experience you earned, and the dungeon will reset with a new and random layout. I'm a little torn on this game. There's a lot to love and loathe about it. Like, the music in the game is pretty good. It has a spooky vibe which matches the dangerous and scary descent to the bottom of the dungeon. But the game is way hard, and not in a fair way. Like, damage comes often and sometimes you're left scratching your head as to how the enemy actually hit you. But the lighting effects are really neat and there's plenty of dark rooms to show them off. But the lantern can't be held without putting away your weapon for some strange reason, leaving you arbitrarily vulnerable when using it. But there's plenty of items with random effects which change things like speed, jump height, armor, or make you glow, diminishing your need to switch to the lantern. But the item drops are randomized, and there's no algorithm to ensure that the drops will give you a fair chance as the levels get harder and harder. Also, the inventory selection in the game is really bad. You can hotkey 2 different items, but otherwise you're forced to cycle through each item one after the other. I've died so many times trying to find my sword or magic spell while some demon who can travel faster than the speed of light chases me down. But the randomness of the dungeon ensures that no 2 runs will ever be alike, and this will increase the longevity of the game. But the randomization of the game goes too far in my opinion, like with the potions. You see, there are 15 potion effects, 8 good and 7 bad. Each run through a dungeon randomizes the effects and their associated colors. In order to give my feeble mind a chance to remember which potions did what each run, I took to curating a word doc while I played, pausing the game after taking the potion and then noting the effect. This is the only way to find out if a potion is good or bad. There's nothing worse than spending a couple hours completing a list only to die and have to delete the doc and start all over again. Now imagine playing in VR. It's super inconvenient to have to lift your headset to change the word doc each time you find a potion. I mean, maybe if I was a savant like Rain Man, I could remember that the Azure potion definitely makes me vomit rainbows this round. However, my memory's just not that good. But eventually you do get better at the game. Despite the random nature of the dungeons and drops, learning how to maximize potion use and item drops will see you get farther and farther into the dungeon, which can make you feel pretty good about how far you've come, considering how punishingly difficult the game can be. But I eventually realized that summoning monsters to fight for you is basically the only way to get to the deepest levels of the dungeon. Maybe you got to the end of the game wielding a sick melee weapon, but some of the boss fights can become such a cluster of pixels and explosions that it's near impossible to battle up close with all the cheap hits and bruises you'll get from the mad boss ads. Thus, in my experience, the later levels amount to little more than standing in a doorway, which makes you invulnerable, while poking your head out to summon more monsters to do your bidding. If I didn't find a good summoning weapon early on, my run was forfeit.